Hey guys, so I'm not sure if you guys have heard, but on September 13th, there was a major riot in the UK. It started during what was supposed to be an anti-immigration rally, but things escalated fast. The people rioting are fed up with how the country is handling illegal immigration. The people that aren't supposed to be there are impacting the economy, housing, and public services for all of the citizens there. And honestly, that's what has me worried. I live here in New Westminster, and while that's obviously a world away from the UK, the issues that they are dealing with, they're not totally different than the conversations that we're starting to hear around here too. To be clear, I'm not a political person, I don't choose sides, but if I see that escalating situations could affect my family, then I like to know what's going on. If supply chains shut down and people start polarizing against each other, then public safety is in jeopardy. It makes me stop and think, could something like that happen here? I really hope not, but it's starting to feel more possible than I'd like.
Please do this, are ya? Traitors, mate, a lot of you. This is our country. You should be here standing with us.
He says that you should be standing here with us as he's talking to the police officer. He doesn't want the illegal immigrants to stay in the UK.
Thousands of protesters hit the streets of London,
people.
England on Saturday to protest immigration. The Unite the Kingdom March.
Unite the Kingdom March. So yeah, it's demonstrations like this that really scare me. You know, seeing more of these pop up all around the world. There was actually a rally in Toronto just this last weekend that I'm going to show some scary scenes as well. That's happening right here in Canada.
Organized by far-right British activist Tommy Robinson, saw a sea of British and English flags, along with signs that read, quote, "Stop the boats and send them home." Counter-protests also took place. Over 1,000 police officers were deployed to keep the two groups separated. It comes after an increase in debate over migrants that are entering the UK without authorization. This summer saw a number of anti-migrant protests outside hotels housing asylum seekers, following the arrest of an Ethiopian migrant who was later convicted of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, being an illegal immigrant is bad enough, but going to another country and harming the people there, that's just wrong.
It is very important. They need to stop illegal migration into this country. It's tearing us apart. You know, we've got people here, the veterans, our veterans that fought for us and for our freedom, lying on the streets with nowhere to go. But you pop in, get rid of your documents, and you can have a 4-star hotel, free board and lodge.
No justice, no peace, no fascists on our streets.
So this group is the group that you call the Antifas. So Antifa stands for anti-fascism.
Well, there's a fear that the far right are trying to take over. So there's a fear of the rise of that sort of thing. But also the way immigrants and asylum seekers are blamed for what's wrong here. It's totally wrong. It's totally wrong. And I think it's racist.
So the Unite the Kingdom rally says that the illegal immigrants are straining social services too much. And on the Antifa side, they're saying that targeting the illegal immigrants is racist. If both sides feel like they're right, then that sounds like trouble is brewing underneath the surface.
Our next story is from London. This weekend, it was the very picture of chaos. Over 100,000 people poured into the British capital. It was one of the biggest right-wing demonstrations in years. They called it the Unite the Kingdom March. It was led by far-right activist Tommy Robinson. He promised unity, but he delivered violence. There were street fights and clashes with police.
I think the current government is a disgrace. I've never seen a government so disorganised.
Yeah, so these upcoming aerial shots give you a really good perspective on how many people were there and how crowded everyone was. It was a massive gathering.
London witnessed one of the largest right-wing demonstrations in recent memory over the weekend, as more than 110,000 people poured into the capital for the Unite the Kingdom March. The rally, billed as a show of patriotic unity, descended into violence as protesters clashed with police and counter-demonstrators.
This is our country. You should be here standing with us.
Robinson called the march quote-unquote a spark of cultural revolution in Great Britain.
Tommy Robinson is the person leading this anti-immigration rally, and here's what he has to say.
You are here because you love your country. You love your children. And we want a better future and a safe future for them.
While the government sought to downplay the scale of demonstrations, the event featured high-profile appearances from abroad. US billionaire Elon Musk joined via video link.
I really think there's got to be a change of government in Britain.
When you have really high-profile characters like Elon Musk voicing his opinion, then you know that big money has chosen their sides.
On the other hand, around 5,000 counter-protesters gathered at Whitehall under the banner of Stand Up to Racism.
I think it's very important to stand up to fascism. We are united, and it's a dangerous lie to try and say that men of colour are a threat to women, and I think we need to squash it.
Why is it important for you to be here today?
For freedom of speech, to hopefully stop the illegal immigration from coming to our shores, to help the homeless, the disabled, the working class, veterans, a number of things.
With so many different messages mixed into one rally, you can probably imagine that the government has their hands full. Because there are so many topics that people are rallying for, then that makes it that much more difficult to find any solution at all. There's just no way to make everyone happy.
They have attacked the family, they've attacked Christianity, they've opened the borders, they've flooded our nations. They managed to silence us for 20 years with labels. Racist, Islamophobe, far right. They don't work anymore.
Tommy Robinson today is going to try and get thousands of those people out on the streets. He's calling it a big free speech festival, but we know this is just an excuse for him to spread some of the worst hatred, division and racism that exists in our society.
The far-right rally descended into violence when a faction of Robinson's supporters threw items at the rival demonstration and tried to break through police barriers set up to separate the groups.
So I needed to share my perspective as a New West local trying to stay ahead of the curve. The events in the UK might seem far removed, but in a globalized world, unrest can ripple quickly, especially when supply chains and public sentiment are involved. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are we prepared for something like this in Vancouver? Or are we overlooking how fragile our systems really are? Have you ever been in an argument with someone about something where both sides are so locked in their own positions because both of you think that you're right? Now imagine that same position-based feeling, but now we're talking hundreds and thousands of people rallying for 5 to 6 all different causes. How can any one group get their way? So like I said, I'm going to be releasing a video about what happened in Toronto, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe and stay aware.